This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by Author You and The Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, I can't believe spring is coming this month. I can't believe daylight savings starts within a short period of time. And that it means that I'm hoping that you are springing forth and working on your book, working on your strategies, working on your marketing ideas. And even if you don't have book in hand, you need to be thinking about marketing now. So the topic we're going to look at today really does involve marketing a book. And that one of the problems I see routinely from most authors, newbies as well as already achieving, they've got a book in hand, they're working on the next book, etc. type authors, is that they always feel that they have to wait until they have book in hand before they can think about going for the marketing strategies, for thinking about acquiring reviews. And that is just dead wrong. You want to start from the very beginning. Who are these players that can help you out to promo yourself as this superb expert in whatever your expert field is? And that's both for fiction and nonfiction. And for authors who really are moving to the gate and getting into the book birthing canal, let's say. So we're going to be focusing on book reviews. And with me today and for the hour is an expert on how to get them. Debbie Drum has been marketing online, and by the way, you're going to be seeking your reviews online. You know, you may have your local friends, you may have people that you know personally that you can pick up on the phone and call, but most of this is going to be reached out via email, online contacts. And Debbie Drum has been marketing online since 2010. She loves working with marketers and to better their business, to increase their business, to grow their business, to get more exposure, and in the bottom line, to sell more products. And your book is a product. And if you're a consultant or you're a speaker or you have a service, all this is going to come in the online realm. Those of you who've been listening to our podcast for the last 3 years know I often say that the internet is the town hall of all marketing today. So Debbie's first dollars online came from the wonderful world of book publishing and then morphed into informational product development, software development, and working with high-end clients in the internet marketing industry. So she's kind of the brains behind a lot of these marketing programs that you see go out there where someone maybe does a webinar. For example, I know last week we did a fabulous webinar with Daniel Hall and Amy Collins exclusively for the author community on a just insider secret sauce library system that will rock and roll your ebook and print book distribution to libraries and sales. And it was a spectacular webinar and a product that came with it. So Debbie loves everything about internet marketing and is always working on crafting her skills to help others succeed. So Debbie will be with us for the hour. We've got questions. We're going to dive in. We're going to talk about things that she's doing and things that you can do to excel and achieve in your marketing strategy. So Debbie, welcome to Author You, your guide to book publishing.
Thank you so much, Judith. It's so great to be here.
Well, it's always fun. You know, I never know which way I'm going to go. And when our mutual friend Joan Stewart introduced us, I knew I had to get you on the air. And I did, and to create actually a webinar for the author community, which we're going to be doing next week, and we'll talk about a little bit later. But why don't we just jump into this whole thing of book reviews, because to me, they're really the secret sauce of book success. And so many authors just stumble. They're afraid to ask for them. They're either afraid to follow up if someone says they're going to do it, but they don't do it, or they just don't think about it. I mean, where do you come in here?
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard work. But it's got to be done. As authors, we're excited about the writing part. We're excited about, proofing our books and adding images and adding links and editing, all this stuff. That's our comfort zone. As soon as we click that publish button, that's where we're totally taken out of our comfort zone, right? That's when we have to change our hat. We have to take off the author hat, and we have to put on the marketing hat. And as we all know, it's one thing to write the book and have a perfect book, well written, and that you're proud of, but it's another thing to actually get people to buy it. Two totally different worlds there. And the review part is the scary marketing part that we all need to do.
Well, I think that my experience is that authors don't think of the acquisition of book reviews as marketing, and they don't hook it, they don't loop it around on what they do. And I personally know, as soon as you cross that 25 to 35 review mark at Amazon, you start getting their robots' attention. That there's action and there's input. I know that when you cross over 100, the bells start going off, and they actually start aggressively promoting your book because other people are chatting it up. And for me, that and I didn't know. And listen, I didn't know that. I didn't know that stuff when I started off in Amazon land years and years ago. I wish someone had roped me in and clued me in about that, because that would have been at the top of my get-go. And now I know that, I have a new little book. I'm going to lay out tomorrow on it, that my new book on how to avoid 101 book publishing blunders, bloopers, and boo-boos, that, people are coming in to already starting to endorse it, that I will be, we will have that included, and it's lovely to have that in the book. But I also will be pushing them. I'm going to copy their endorsement back, and as soon as it is live to purchase on Amazon, then they can literally come in and copy paste in that review, and that is just really what you have to do.
Yeah, I'm excited to read that, actually.
Oh. But listen, when I look at it, I thought, oh my God, there's another 101 I know of.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
But, it's as simple as think about your own purchasing habits, right? What do you do before you purchase just about anything in this world, right? Not just books, but anything.
Exactly.
And if we talk about books specifically, okay, so we land on the listing page of Amazon, right? Our eyes, they immediately go to the cover, right? We want to see the cover. We'll look at the title. We'll go right. Then we'll look down to the description, and then what automatically flashes at us are those stars. And those stars, they actually play a significant psychological role when we are making our buying decisions. And like I said, it's not just about books. It's about anything that we're doing before we eat at a restaurant. Like, what are we doing? We're going on Yelp. We're going on these sites, and we're looking at the reviews. We're seeing what are other people saying. How's the food? How's the service? And we want our experience to be a great one. And how we're going to get that? Well, we're going to listen to people who have already walked the walk, and we need that social justification before we even consider pressing that buy button.
There's no question. I was, I go on Costco. I go on Costco and read reviews, and I'll look at Walmart and read reviews, because I want to read what real people who are really using the product are going to say. And also know that behind every review, there are thousands that didn't post because they didn't think about it, or they just don't have the time, or they don't want to, or fill in the blank. And I also think it's very important to read the poor reviews, the negative reviews. And I know that, I'm in the market of buying, another new laptop. And I had it down to 2 brands. And I thought I was going to lose this brand, but boy, I read all the reviews and I just said, yeah, I just took it off. Mm-hmm. And so reviews are critical. So that loops us back to authors. Where are you seeking out your reviews? How do you go find them? And that's where, your expertise comes into play. How do we go find them, Debbie?
Just, one thing to go back to what you were saying about negative reviews. It's funny because, as humans, for some reason, we are more prone to write a negative review than we are to write a positive review about a positive experience. Mm-hmm. Like, if we had bad food at a restaurant, we'll go immediately on Yelp and we'll talk about everything that we didn't like. Yeah. But when it comes to a good experience, we just, unless we're prompted to write a review, we probably won't. Okay? Mm-hmm. We just won't go out of our way. And like you said, people get busy, but it's funny how it works that way, that people will write about their negative experiences. But, that's the first thing as authors. The easiest way to get a review is to ask for it. Okay? So
Absolutely.
We know when we read an Amazon book, right? Amazon will do a little bit in our favor at the end of the book, and they'll say, "Hey, can you rate this book?" Right? And then they'll also, maybe if we didn't rate the book, they'll send us an email a couple days later. How was your experience with this book? So they do a little bit to push. But as authors, we need to do our part.
There's no question. There's a question. So, Debbie, we're going to take a quick break here. I want you to, let's come back in and start in the steps. I mean, I have a couple of techniques that I do at book signings and carrying that I want authors to do. And I know that you have a boatload, or maybe we should say a bookload of them. All right. Debbie Drum is my guest today. We're talking about getting book reviews and some steps to do it. It's Author You, your guide to book publishing.
Is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Give your book the best shot at getting buzz before it's even released. JKS Communications has been leading the book publicity industry for more than a decade. From producing some of the earliest book trailers to recently creating what Shelf Awareness calls the world's longest book tour, our team of publicists work tirelessly, smart, and with the goal of getting you the best attention possible. Our family of publicists come from journalism and publishing backgrounds with great experience and a passion for books. And our family of authors all across the globe are supportive of one another. We read your book and talk to you to understand your goals and lifestyle before sending you a proposal. We only represent books and authors that we believe in. Let's get going. Go online at jkscommunications.com.
Is there a book in you or another? Author You will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. Author U brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through Author U's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has possession pizzazz, punch, and panache. Author U is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join Author U today through its website at authoru.org. Follow Author U on Twitter at Author U and on Facebook at Author U, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. Author U, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
First impressions are everything in the world of book publishing. Whether your book is an ebook, a print version, or both, your book cover needs to pop, sizzle, and sparkle to immediately capture the attention of your audience. And your book's interior needs to be just as dynamic and reflect the professionalism your readers demand. Nick Sellinger of NZ Graphics has won numerous national and international book awards for his cover designs and interior layouts. With over 20 years of experience in graphic design, he knows what it takes to create award-winning books and the many promotional pieces that authors need, such as posters, banners, postcards, one-sheets, business cards, logos, and more. Visit ncgraphics.com and see what authors and publishers have to say about their award-winning books and how NZ Graphics can make your book the success it was meant to be. That's nzgraphics.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Alrighty, our discussion today is book reviews. How do we get them? How do we maximize getting them? And how do we use them for marketing? And my guest is Debbie Drum, who is an online marketing expert. And she has actually developed a unique program on snagging, seeking and snagging book reviews that we're going to get into, which I'm really excited about because I'm going to be doing a webinar next on Wednesday, March 9th at 6 o'clock Eastern on that. And to get information, all you need to do is go to the authoru.org website, click on the events, and it'll be right there on how to register. I'm also going to be tweeting and doing postings and all those things on it now, starting, now. They'll start going up tomorrow. Through next Wednesday, if you're someone who hears this, our podcast before then, and if you're hearing it after the 9th of March and you've downloaded it, that there'll be ways that we can get that link to you so you can hear, because there's going to be some juicy information. All right, so Debbie, that what we have are that, we've really talked about, I think both we concur, book reviews are part of the infrastructure, I believe, and the foundation for book success. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's the social proof that we all need that exists in this world today. We don't buy anything without reading the reviews first. And also, it's funny how it works in our brain, because we're not just, okay, yeah, sure, we will dive deep into what the actual reviews say, and the reviews matter, of course, right? But even psychologically, if we're comparing two products, that they're the same product, and one has, let's say one has 90 reviews and one has 2 reviews, which one are you going to gravitate towards more? Just by looking at the number of reviews. Exactly. The 90, because there's more people have had that experience as opposed to the other one, and that's the one that we're just going to follow the crowd. It's the whole thought of just like fitting in, right? You don't want to be the odd man out or the odd woman out. So that's another reason why we want to get those numbers up there.
So it's the more the better. The more the better. But I'm going to go back to something I said on our first segment, is that as an author, it's really smart to review the top influencers, the top sellers, your competitors, for your book. Read them. Read the negative reviews, because one of your marketing strategies should be that your book, of course, because you're so brilliant, will not have the negative things that these people are talking about. And you can really expand on it and take it and use that as a marketing tool for you, where you're not mentioning the book that people are saying lacks or the problem, but you will be in your postings and your support that you will actually say that your book has whatever the missing secret sauce is that people are grumbling about. I mean, that's one thing that you want to do. And also, if you're in the middle of writing, you want to look at your competitors and see what people are grumbling about that are missing or lacking in there. Then you make sure that you, if it's appropriate, you do include whatever it is they're looking for. Just a thought.
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Debbie, let's just jump into this. What are some of the ways authors can get book reviews?
Okay. So, number one, I brought this up already. I said to ask, but there's a very specific way, and now we're kind of flipping. Let's talk about digital books. Is that okay?
We can talk either way, because to me they both run in the same race.
Okay. So with digital books, what you want to do is you definitely, remember Amazon asks the reader to write the review, but you want to ask the reader as well. So inside of your book, you want to put at least 2 times, okay? Maybe once in the beginning of the book, once in the end of the book, and just ask people, say, hey, I would love your feedback about what you thought of this book. And then because it's a digital book, you can put a hyperlink inside of your book directly to where, and this is like a special technique, it's a special link, that you can put a special link directly to where the person writes the review. Now, because a lot of people, they make a little bit of a mistake. They put the link to the book listing on Amazon, so the person that clicks that link, well, they have to kind of go around, they have to find where they can write a review, and they might not be sure. But this special link that I have, I don't have it right now to give it to you, but it maybe we'll put it in the show notes or something. It goes directly to where they can write the review, so there's absolutely no confusion. They click the star ratings and they write the review, and they're done. Okay, so that's prompting.
Do you mean
the
to tell
user.
me? Yeah, I thought that I'm just thinking of a regular book page, and on it says write a customer review. It has the details of the book, and it says write. It could be the first to write a customer review, or it could be write a customer review, and there's a whole bunch of them already there. So that I thought that each time those are unique links that goes directly to your book.
It's actually one link that's different from the book listing link. It's a special link that you just direct that person immediately to just write their own review, no matter who left a review before or whatever. If you have no reviews, it doesn't matter. It's this one link that works all the time. And,
but I'm curious. All right, so my brain is working here. How does Amazon know you're now writing about another book if it's a universal link?
No, it's directly for that specific book.
Oh, it is for your book.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it is for the book,
okay.
But it doesn't go to the book listing. It goes to that specific page where you can automatically just write a review without having to find that review button.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
All right. So it's a shortcut. You want to give a shortcut, but your hot tip here is, number one, ask for it within your book. So maybe in the beginning and toward the end. So I'm just going to say, now let's talk about a print book. That why not have, if you're going to do an author note or a little something, and you're talking to the reader before you dive into your information, why not do it there? And at the very end, I'm a big believer in writing what I call a final word or an afterword, which is maybe 1 or 2 pages, kind of the go action plan. You go reader type thing. And why not ask for it there again, too, and remind them to do it?
Mm-hmm. That's very important. Also, when you're using your when you're doing it in your print book, make sure that you're using some kind of link shortener or pretty link so that people don't have a hard. The whole thing is we want to make it a very easy path for the person. We don't want them to go, on a treasure hunt to find where they have to write their review, because we want to make this very, very easy for the person to do it. Remember, they're doing us a favor, okay, at the end of the day. And that's another reason why this is a hard thing to do, because a lot of people, they don't like to ask for favors. They feel uncomfortable. And you kind of just got to get over that, right?
Get frickin' over it. Please, everybody. You can't get it unless you ask. And if you think that's where I go, I used to call it the school teacher mentality. Surely the world will know what a great job I do. No, they won't. You have to remind them of what you're bringing to the party. And I have to share just, a really fun thing. I do every Monday morning at noon Eastern time, I do a free Pick My Brain coaching call that people can call in. The only thing they have to pay is whatever their phone call cost. And that I do that every Monday morning, called Author Mentoring Mondays. The phone number is on the authoru.org website or the bookshepherd.com website. Just in the slider at the top, you can get it. And that one woman called in and she just said, I've been listening to you off and on for the last several months, and I bought your little book, The Crowdfunding Guide for Authors and Writers. I went through it step by step. And I just want you to know I raised $16,000, and I thought it was very cool. It was very helpful. Wow. So I said to her, you need to go to Amazon and post a review.
Yes, please. Do a video testimonial. I'm getting into, not to jump off topic, but I'm getting into the power of video. I focus a lot on video marketing. And the power of somebody doing like a video testimonial. Think about like the keywords that people are looking.
Okay, let's come back to that. Yeah, let's take another quick break, and we'll come back to it, and we'll open up on how to do the best way to do video, and maybe guide your readers on how to be most effective for you. This is Author You, your guide to book publishing. I'm Judith Briles, your book shepherd. With me is my guest, Debbie Drum.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Want to publish like a pro today? Well, then take a look at Ingram Spark, the only publishing platform that offers print and ebook services through a single source. Upload, edit, and manage titles all in one place. Take more control of printing costs with print on demand, and reach even more readers through one of the world's most extensive distribution networks. Built by independent publishers for independent publishers, Ingram Spark has everything you need to maximize your book's potential: color printing, ebook distribution, print on demand, global reach, and more. Start publishing with Ingram Spark today and see just how far your titles will go tomorrow. That's ingramspark.com.
Many of us have dreamed of writing a book.
Some of us even have.
Then the hard work starts.
You'll need an editor.
Who will design the cover or typeset the pages?
Who will format the ebook?
If you're a business owner, consultant, or coach with a serious message and expertise to share, the team of experts at 1106 Design can guide you through the maze.
They've helped more than 1,000 authors create top-quality books and avoid the not-so-reputable self-publishing companies.
Learn more at 1106design.com.
Then call Michelle at 602-866-3226. 1106 Design.
When Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing question. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, book reviews. Do you need them? And the answer is, oh, yes, you do. So there's print reviews, and as our my guest, Debbie Drum, online marketing expert in the book review area, has said that you need to think also about the video side. And there's some differences. Already we've talked about the digital and getting a live link to a special coding that within your digital book, your ebook. So in the front matter, maybe, and as well as in the back matter is a goose that you go ahead and reach out. And so I'm going to say at the same time, you might as well go ahead and ask, because Debbie opened the door here, that if you take 90 seconds and do a video review and email it to me at blah, 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 blah. How do you like that, Debbie?
I love it. I mean, we did talk about this. It is a little bit more advanced. There's a little bit more effort that goes into doing videos and asking people for a video. Okay? A lot of people immediately are already sweating, right? Because they hate video. But I'm a huge video person, and I just believe, and it's been proven over and over and over, that video sells. Okay, and
they do sell, and there is ranking. And I'm trying to think on one of my books, someone did send me post a video, and she puts it up on Amazon, and you know what? It always shows high on the reviews. Mm-hmm. It's always high.
Because why?
Yeah.
Because people are watching it. People love to watch videos. Okay, a lot of people are more visual audio as opposed to readers. Okay. And they just like to pop in, as long as the video is not too long, right? Less than a minute, 90 seconds, whatever it is, it's fine. So those reviews can be put on Amazon. Also, though, for search engine purposes, so let's say the person's not on Amazon and they're looking for, some sort of romance fiction to read, and let's say your video comes up on the top of Google and that testimonial is right there with a link to your book to Amazon, it's a great way to generate sales. It's another form of marketing. Okay, so that's a discovery method as well as just a review method. So it's kind of like a double whammy.
People, I go back and forth with authors, and one of my blooper blunder boo boo tip is that if you're going to dig in your heels and say, Amazon just takes too much money because if on the Advantage account there's a 55% discount, and you're saying, well, I'll go in the marketplace. But you know what? If you don't do the Advantage account, you don't have the power that the publishing side has. If you just go marketplace, I'm going to tell you it's a mistake to do that, because you're thinking, well, I'll get more money on marketplace. You want to make it simple, and you want to make it easy. And you need to get over the discounting. If you sell it to a bookstore, if you're publishing yourself and you sell it to a bookstore, you do a warehouse, you have a distributor, you are going to deal with 55% discounts. Get over it. It's business. Amazon sells 70% of all books, print and digital, in the United States. Get over it. So you got to be there.
So, are you for the KDP Select program?
I was. That's a good question, Debbie. I was off it because it was so polluted. It was so crowded. But I think that it makes sense to step into it for 90 days. Take advantage of the 5 free days. Don't do them all in a row. Don't clump them together. Just do one at a time and spread them out, because the bulk of any digital sales on the free pull downs are going to happen on the first day. So I would play around with that, and then I would open it up to Kobo and Smashwords and the other platforms. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, because the idea, at least for me, is to have your introductory book be free. And then, if people like that book, then they get introduced to your other books, and that's the whole idea. And that's where the trickle effect.
Yes, and you make sure that you combine it with the Matchbook program on Amazon. So if they buy the print book, they could get maybe you offer your ebook for free, or 99 cents or $1.99, or never more than $2.99. I mean, that's the way the deal works. So, but you definitely want to mark the box. Yes, I want to do the Matchbook program. All right. So video, make them short, sweet, and have them send them to you, because listen, they are not going to put it most likely up on YouTube. Now you're asking them to do another step, and they may not have a YouTube channel. So have them send it to you, and you collect them. And guess what? You can put them on your website too, which would be hot.
Yes. And the other big tip with video, title it what genre your book is in, so that it will be so that people can find it when they're typing in certain keywords. And another huge tip is, let's say you have science fiction, do science fiction book. Always put book as your keyword, because that's very targeted. People are looking for books. It's a huge match that people who are searching for the word book, they land on the word book, and then they go to buy your book.
And fantasy. So make sure, Debbie's absolutely right. Genre has got to be in that. And you can, use a couple of other adjectives, but not much. You don't get much in the keyword deal with the Amazon side. But that what you do want to do is understand we're after search engines on the video, and you have to think like the consumer is looking. So if you just put book, you're going to be lost. You want to be a historical romance fiction book would bring much more people in. Okay, so understand that in your keyword phrases, your long tail searches. Okay, so we're hot tip. You're going to ask people in your digital form and your print form to post a review. Number 2, you're going to ask for video reviews. So you have your handy-dandy smartphone and where you go. And I told Debbie that I'm at a meeting this weekend, and I'm going to take along, as all of you should be doing, is carrying some of your own books with you wherever you go. And I'll have a couple of copies of my books that I'm after. If they haven't posted a review, I'm going to nail them on the spot. I will ask them, do you have my book? Yes, I do. I loved your book. Wonderful. Did you post a review? Well, I'm in to do it. Well, let's do it right now. I'm going to test it and experiment with this for all of you, and I'll report back.
Wonderful.
Okay. All right, Debbie, what's next? Video reviews. All right. So what's next? And some of the things that they should do to gather them up.
Well, let's talk about the initial reviews, because a lot of people, like, they need those initial reviews to kind of get the momentum started, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of these, as you know, submitting your book to some of these promotional sites, whether they're free or paid, they have like a minimum of 5 that you need, right? So you need to get your base 5 reviews before you can even post them on these promotional sites. So, kind of like 2 ways that I'm going to say that still kind of work, but be careful with them, okay? And the 2 ways that you can kind of get your initial reviews is, number 1, of course, you can go ahead and ask your family and friends. Now, let's stop right here. If you've written 50 books and you get the same exact people all the time, that's not going to be good, okay? But if you have a friend, like I write in a fiction genre that I don't tell people about, okay? And this is another reason why this method didn't really work for me, because I didn't want to blast out to everybody that I wrote in this niche, because I was kind of embarrassed. But if you have specific friends that you know, of course, you think they would be interested in your book, of course you need to ask them, okay? So that's kind of the easiest way to get a review, is people, they want to do that favor for you, but you also want the quality of the review to be there as well, right? So you don't want to ask like 50 of your friends and then be like, oh yeah, the book is great. You don't want reviews like that, because they're just suspicious for people. People are already like that. Those are red flags. But if you have true people who might be interested in the romance book that you've written, and they'll write, they're more prone to write you a good review because they're your friend, but they've also liked the book, okay? So that's kind of the a number 1 way of that most authors will go to first, is asking people that they know. Again, if you're asking your husband or your wife and they live in the same household, red flag to Amazon, okay? Because they can see that, your address is the same, your IP address is the same. They know all that stuff. So don't go in your own home when you're doing this. And again, if you've written tons and tons of books and you're asking the same people over and over, that's a no-no, okay? So just, tread lightly with this method, because it still works, but not the best.
Let me ask you a question, and we're coming up to our final break here. But that if you're selective, like I just write in the writing publishing area, it's always important for me to have colleagues and peers also to give that support. That kind of like the stamp of approval. All right, we'll come back, and then I'm going to have Debbie get into the method she's discovered to really soar your reviews. This is Author You, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the book shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher or by a publishing service provider, or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the book shepherd if you want to create a book with no regrets. Give her a call today. 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207. Or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
One of the most important decisions you will ever make is your choice for printing your book. You are choosing a company which will be responsible for guiding you through the process and printing your book at a level of quality and detail that embraces your personal and creative needs. You want to choose a company that when your book finally arrives, you are delighted and ready to move on to the next level, and one that is customer focused. Choose King Printing Company and Addy Books to be that company that brings you to the next level. Go to kingprinting.com or call 978-458-2345 and ask for Tom Campbell.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Okay, so book reviews. We've established that they're critical, they're essential for your infrastructure, for your author, for your book success. All right, so Debbie Drum is an expert with me today on online book marketing and specifically into product sales, which is your book, and how to get book reviews. So as she's really, as we all do, when you start doing something over and over and over and over and over again, you actually find out a lot of things, and you develop your expertise in it, and you start developing, this is the secret sauce on how to excel about what others are doing. So Debbie, let's jump into some of the things that you've discovered and the formulas you've put together to really advance an author's review success.
Sure. So it was back in about 2012, and I remember it like it was yesterday because we just got done with the Superstorm Sandy hit our town, and my office was upstairs, and the ground got flooded, and it was a mess for about 3 months. So I remember exactly where I was, where I thought of this idea. And I shared this, it stands out. And I shared with you earlier that I was kind of writing in a fiction niche that I didn't want to broadcast to all my friends and in Facebook groups and things like that. So I started digging around inside of Amazon, and I wanted to see, I had got the idea of can't I just reach out to other people who have reviewed other similar books in my niche? And that's why book publishing is so incredible, because somebody's bought one fiction book, that means that they're going to buy 10 fiction books or 100 fiction books in their niche, right? That's why this is so profitable, because people just consume. And the idea is if they like a similar book, well, they must like my book because it's in the same genre. So I started doing a little bit more digging into other books in my niche. And then basically when you go into Amazon, you know that you can see the number of reviews, and that number is a hyperlink. So I clicked on that hyperlink, and then, of course, you see all the reviews that come up for these books. And some of these books that I was looking at have 800 reviews, 1,000 reviews, 2,000 reviews. I was like, wow, that's a wealth of people that I can just reach out to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that as I was doing my digging, that it took a very long time to actually get to the profile of each of those buyers, because all of us as buyers on Amazon, we all have profiles, whether we know it or not. We have.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And what we can do is we can customize that profile. We can say, yeah, show our email, show our address, or email our website, show the other reviews that we've written about products, books, things like that. And it takes about, I don't know, like 5 clicks or so just to get into a buyer profile to see if they have contact information, okay? And gosh, 4 years later, I can tell you the statistics that about 10% of reviewers for a specific book will have contact information, all right? So that means that if you're going through a book with, 2,000 reviewers, then 200 of them will have roughly 200 of them will have contact information. But going through 2,000 reviewers could probably take you all day. And if it's not taking you all day, it's taking somebody that you've hired all day long just to get 200 potential reviewers to reach out to. All right. So, and most small businesses, we don't have the resources to pay for someone full time, even if they are overseas. It's just a hard expense to justify at the end of the day. Okay. And so I got to thinking a little bit more, and Amazon actually has like a thing that they do with developers, that developers can actually extract some information from Amazon if they do it properly, and they don't take up too much of Amazon's resources. So I talked to a programmer and I said, hey, can we just get a robot, right? A robot to go through all of these pages and pages and pages and pages of reviewers, kick out the ones that don't have contact information, and just give us the ones that do. And we were able to pull it off, okay? And it's very exciting because I get excited because I've seen results just by using the tool, but almost every day I get people writing me saying, I went from having 0 reviews to 60 reviews or to 30 reviews or whatever it is. And just because they're able to reach these highly, highly targeted people to review their book. So imagine if you have a direct competing book and your book is very similar, that you can reach out to 200 of those readers and say, hey, look, I saw that you reviewed this book. I have a book that's just like it, and you'll probably love it too. Would you like to review my book? And preferably, you're doing that in conjunction with one of your Amazon KDP Select free days. Remember, we want the path of least resistance. We want to make it as easy as pie for people to leave us reviews. And if they can get the book for free somehow, then it's easier for them to write the review. And that's what my software does. It's called Book Review Targeter, and it targets the exact people, the exact readers that you want your book to be read by. And that's why it's so powerful, because they wouldn't be just doing that for us as a favor, okay? It's not a favor because it's something that they enjoy doing. It's a genre they enjoy reading. So they're more likely to write that review and give you feedback and also respond to you, which is key.
Well,
that's what Book Review Targeter is.
I love that idea. So, but you need to tell me how much of, is this something that, number one, I could turn over to my VA, one of my VAs, to take over and go after and find and figure out, or if I was doing this myself, how much, and I think most authors, maybe I have I have 2 VAs who work for me, but that most authors are going to think, okay, so how much more is this going to suck on my time? I mean, literally, Debbie, that is the way we think. How much more? This is going to suck on my time. So really, let's be real here. So how much, if I had this program, what would this take to really go in? I mean, how much time would I have to put in a day, a week to go after these reviews? Again, I'm saying to everyone, this is a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the process is that you do a keyword search for your niche, or you can search by ASIN, so you can search a specific book, and you literally press a button and you walk away, okay? Because after you press that button, the software is doing its thing. It's going through at a steady rate so we don't piss Amazon off, right? And
okay, so we're using the ASIN, everyone, is the Amazon's ID number, like they're like an ISBN. They just assign it for a book.
Yes.
For the digital.
Or you can do a keyword search.
Okay, so this is a competing book or a like book that you're going to do the search on.
Exactly, right?
Got it. Okay.
So then the results come up and you say, ooh, this one has 1,000 reviews. I like that one. Ooh, this one has 800 views. I like that one. So you press 5 buttons, right? And then you walk away. Then you'll come back about, it varies, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes later. You get an email, okay? Now, when I say you get an email, this could be you or this can be your virtual assistant. So you can assign where the emails actually go. And the email is telling you your reviewers are ready, okay? So you go into the tool and you have the list of reviewers. You either get their email address or their website. So obviously, if you have their email address, you can contact them immediately. If you have their website, you need to do a little bit more digging, okay? Because some of them don't put both, some of them do put both, some of them put none, okay? And then after that, you would just say, I have templates in there that you can just plug in the data very easily. And you say, hey, it's a very friendly message. You're not, and this is where it gets back to being comfortable. You're talking to people like they're your friends. You're not trying to market your book. You're not trying to use this slick copywriting. It's just a friendly message. You're not asking them to buy anything. You're not asking them to opt into anything. It's just a friendly message. That's where you're going to get the most responses, okay? And people aren't going to know that you're mass mailing anyone because of the way that you're structuring it. And that's it, all there is to it. And, you can do a couple of these per week, or you could have your virtual assistant do it, and you're totally hands-free.
All right, Debbie, how do we find this? Because we're like the last 10 seconds. What's the website we go to for this?
Okay, it's getbookreviewsnow.com/Judith discount.
Okay, so it's getbookreviews.com / what's the rest?
Judith discount.
Judith discount. Getbookreviews now / Judith discount. We'll be right back. Thank you, Debbie Drum. And turn into the webinar to get